Hello, everyone, and welcome to SPE Live. I'm your host, David Gibson, and live for today's SPE Tech Talk, we're bringing in Schlumberger. We'll be discussing utilizing the power of automated reporting. Yes, I am really excited about this one because at one point in time, I designed my own automated reporting thing. Oh my gosh, that was like 8 years ago. So it's really exciting for me to be able to hear about what's really leading the industry in automated reporting. As per normal, everybody out there watching, this is a live event. So we want you, the audience, to be able to interact with us here that are talking live, right? Ask your questions, interact with us, tell us your thoughts and comments. Could we do something better? Could we do something worse? Whatever, right? Let us know where you're watching from. Have you seen an SPE Live or SPE Tech Talk in the past? Which ones did you like, right? We want to be able to be here with you. We've got the experts here to be able to answer your questions. Speaking of the experts, let's go ahead and get this thing started. User-friendly automated reports can save you time and help you make better decisions, right? Yeah, better business decisions. Simply at its core, digitization can turn data into results, which could transform into money. And that's a transformation I like. In our discussion today, Schlumberger will share their latest insights into data-driven automated reporting. We'll also look at how to integrate that solution within a drilling program. Joining me for this tech talk is Milan Saicic, who works on the digital drilling technical team at Schlumberger. Also on the broadcast from Schlumberger is John Hanson, Drill Ops Report Business Development Manager. Welcome to the SPE Tech Talk, and thank you guys for joining us.
Thanks, David. Thank you.
Thanks, David. Great to be here and looking forward to the show.
All right, audience, so let's see. We want to be able to hear your questions and comments. Have we gotten any in so far? No, guys, let us know where you're watching from. It's pretty simple. Not going to take very many calories, and if anything, you want to burn some calories, just get typing on the keyboard. Okay, gentlemen, let's start with building a background. While many of us now rely on it, not all of us have taken a deep dive into this technology. John, I'm curious, how long has automated reporting been a reliable process?
That's a good question. It really depends on what you mean by reliable and automated reporting. We've had it, by we, I mean IDS, has had automated reporting running since about 2016, and that timeline has just popped up on the screen there. If you go back a little bit, just to take a bit of a historical point of view for a tick, back in 95 when IDS was started, we built a package that was essentially a manual package, manual data entry. People had to go and gather results and data from around the rig by hand and bring it into Excel and type it into the system and so forth. And really, it was very old tech at the time. It was 4 floppy disks, which I remember very well as I wrote the software initially. And very early on in the piece, we switched to web reporting in 2001. It was a very big step for us. And that rather began, I suppose, that really began the process of automation in a way, because it gave us access to data globally rather than locally on the rig. So we had some thoughts of automation even back in 2001. But of course, the initial struggle then was getting it to work on the web. You go right down to 2010, and you'll see this little box there, WITSML import. And this is where we really got started with it. The idea being we rebuilt this web-based interface to actually able to import WITSML data from WITSML sources. And I'm talking about the static objects, the drilling fluids and BHAs and bits and so forth. Bring that into the report by pressing a button on the reporting system, and there would be no retyping, no double entry, one version of the truth, which was a great idea, but we were ahead of the game, I think, in 2010. The service companies themselves didn't have their data in the WITSML format, so we were ready to receive data that wasn't ready. So as a kind of in desperation, I think that's probably the best way to put it, we built a tool called FileBridge, which short-circuited that, took the daily mud report, for example, from MI-SWACO, broke it down and brought it into the IDS system. So that brings us up to where we are now with the word LAR, Lean Automated Reporting. And this is where it starts to get very interesting. I'll probably go into this in a bit more detail later on, but that's you're asking about the timeline. You can down to 2016. This is where we started to use the real-time data, the WITSML 1 second, 1 hertz data, and reprocessing that. So that's the answer. There's a long answer to quite a short question. How do we get from beginning to here? It really starts in 2016.
Well, I want to get back to IDS in a moment because I'm excited to hear about the integrations there. John, let's take a step back first. Looking at drilling, where are we with vision automated reporting? What issues are you hearing from clients and your network? Bluntly, how many people are still operating like it's 2010?
Sadly, the majority, to be honest. I mean, it takes you have to have a fully instrumented rig. Fully automated reporting is full instrumentation on the rig. So really, that cuts out quite a number of the smaller, low-cost operations. And even on fully instrumented rigs, people are still typing. Highly qualified engineers are being paid to be clerks, and it's this absurdity really that drove us in 2016 to move beyond that into the world of fully automated reporting. I can't give you any numbers, but in the global world, but the everybody wants to have automated reports. There's no question about it. When you put it down in front of an operator, say, this is what we can do. This is excellent. Implementing it, the management side of things, is the hardest part. And it's a slow process. People have to get used to the idea. And that is our job, really, within IDS and with the broader Schlumberger, is the educational role, the didactic role to say this is available and this is how it operates.
Okay, so back to IDS then. We are here to talk about drilling automated reporting solutions. How does IDS fit into Schlumberger, Delphi, and drill ops reporting structure, and what's the integration timeline for those? Milan, this one was for you.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, David. Yeah, so we were really excited about acquiring IDS that went through about a month ago. And we've started working with IDS some time ago in a partnership. So that integration started well before the actual acquisition. So we're well on our way already. We've still got some way to go in terms of that full integration. But effectively what we've done is we've got our infinity loop, which you can see up on the screen. And several years ago now, we put out a vision of an interconnected digital drilling solution, which today or previously there wasn't a solution out there, which is all about connecting your planning to your execution, but learning along the way and recording everything that you've done so that every well you do is better than the last. So one of the aspects of the vision is we wanted to keep building our solutions on top of this and make sure they're interconnected. So an area where we needed to expand on further was in the recording and reporting space. So with the acquisition of IDS and the lean automated reporting, we now have that solution. So you can see there we've got it represented as report, drill ops report, and that entails all the legacy IDS reporting products, DrillNet, TowerNet, GeoNet, SafeNet, and CostNet. So now we're able to integrate them into the broader digital drilling solution, and we've created a interface connection between DrillOps Report and DrillOps Orchestrate, which allows then that communication of a digital drilling plan coming from drill plan through to orchestration of that, and then a digital drilling report from the automated reporting. So we've created that already. We're still building on developing the user interface that is in line with the other DrillOps solutions, but we're well on our way. Now, in saying that, our ambition is to create that complete integration of the digital drilling solution. But in saying that, we still know that there are some operators out there and drilling contractors that may not want or need at the moment a fully integrated solution. So we're still offering these standalone solutions. So anyone out there who wants a automated report on the operator side or the drilling contractor side, that's fully available as DrillOps Report with that solution. But the beauty of it is they've then joined the journey and are able to connect up to the other DrillOps and drill plan solutions if they choose to in future. So hopefully that covers that for you there, David.
Excellent. Well, can you share more on how automated reporting fits with the planning and executing of a well?
Yeah, sure. So ultimately, if we step back a little bit, so with the growth of digital, lots of analysis has been done, and it said that we should be able to achieve a 20 to 30% improvement in performance due to digital, and that comes from various areas, and one of those is automation. So automation on the reporting side obviously gives us a significant benefit in terms of the time and efficiency and accuracy. So then what we're able to do is create that ultimate connection where you create a digital drilling program in DrillPlan, and you execute that through DrillOps Orchestrate, which then provides you a direct automated report on that execution. So that then connects back up, and that report feeds into our well construction data foundation to then leverage that automated use for subsequent planning and analysis. So it's a truly digital connection from planning to execution and learning again.
Okay. John, let's say I'm looking for an automated reporting solution for my fleet, taking away the marketing notes. What is new, better, different with IDS and DrillOps reports? Are we talking about the LAR and lean automated reporting? Because I don't like using acronyms for stuff because people don't know them. Speed of analysis, AI, artificial intelligence, and recommendations or integrations.
Okay, I lost some of that question, unfortunately. The link's quite bad here. The driver for us with automated reporting is the critical part is the activities. As I mentioned earlier, you bring in static data, so far so good, you're saving typing time. When you're talking about really automated reporting, you're talking about bringing in the real-time data, reprocessing that as rig state, which is a very important part of it. And thanks to Schlumberger, we get really good rig state. On top of that, we put our own code, our own algorithm to actually make operational state, as we call it, which builds out the activity section of the DDR or the daily of the IDC report. That is the really most important part. And when we go to operators or drilling contractors and we talk about how we automate that part of it and bring a real sense of one version of the truth, because it's driven by machines rather than manual input, that's when we get a really good response from both sides of the table, both the drilling contractor side and the operator side. And that is when those results are presented. Unfortunately, I can't see the slideshow, but if you have that third slide, you will see some of those results, I believe, on the screen. If you could do that.
They are up.
They're up. Thank you very much. On the left-hand side of that, you will see a typical 24 hours of reporting as written by hand. Now, it says, I believe, from memory, midnight to midnight drilling, basically, with a few random parameters of weight on bid and so forth for the 24-hour period. And that's what was written on the rig, and it's perfectly acceptable thing to do. It's true. What they said is true. From midnight to midnight, we drilled ahead. Unfortunately, back in town, people need to know a little bit more information, particularly drilling performance engineers. And so if you hit return again and get to the next slide, you'll see that's what some of the report looked like after we reprocessed it for drilling performance engineers. This is real data. It's taken about a year ago from a big Middle Eastern NOC. And this is working with Schlumberger, with the system, our reporting system integrated with Schlumberger. And you can see there, you'll see drilling sliding, all the parameters, all the values for the drilling parameters for the various activities that you've got. If you hit the slide return one more time, from the same well, you'll see a much more typical daily drilling report for 12 or 14 hours. That report that you're looking at now is completely automated. The coding, the times, the depths that were drilled, the comments that were drilled, and when we don't know what's happening, you'll see, if you can look closely, you'll see things like extended connection times, block movements during connection, this kind of thing. That's when we don't know what's happening. So you have to fill those flat times in. But the rest of it, what you're seeing is completely automated. That leaves us the flat times and text entry. And this is where AI and ML come in. On top of what we've built already, we've also built a tool where when the engineers at the well site, for example, and we're working on BOPs. So it goes into the IDS system, types working on BOPs. Our AI engine reads that, processes it, and chooses the right code. So what we're going to get to here is that the actual coding of the activities, I mean, that's where the value lies, because from the coding, you back out the NPT, the ILT, all the familiar things that we work with. If that part of the system isn't right, then the activities are largely wasted because they're coded incorrectly and therefore cannot be analyzed. So we have the machine-driven codes, and when we don't have machine-driven codes, we use AI and ML to build out the right code based on what the operator's typing into the system, whether that's through the drill op system or through the activity, or through the entry from the on-site engineer. So that's where we really start to bring real value, because you know you've got the right code with the right activity throughout for the complete report.
I wish I had $1 for every time I got a report back that said drilled from midnight to midnight, or just said drilling ahead. I wouldn't be doing this. I would be on a beach somewhere. All right.
Well, absolutely.
So we've discussed automated reporting for the operators, but how can the drilling contractors truly benefit from this?
Well, it's a question for me on that, very much, even more so, actually, than the operators, to be honest. A project we've had under wraps for quite a while now is now starting to surface, that we call ACRE, Automated Common Reporting Environment. And this is where it gets very, very interesting, because it's the convergence between what the drilling operator, the drilling contractor reports, and what the operator reports. Now, if you think about it, there is only one midnight depth. You know, at the end of the day, you're drilling from the same data source throughout. And the ACRE project is putting the real-time data sources and the WITSML sources at the core of the report for both the operator's DDR, the drilling contractor's IEDC report, and the drilling contractor's own operational report. They always have one of those running, and sharing the same core data, and then building out the reports for both of them from the same core data set, leaving, of course, latitude for the drilling contractor to put his interpretation on what's happening, because drilling contractors are rig-centric rather than well-centric. So they report about the same event, they'll report a slightly different perspective. That's fantastic. That's how it should be. We also give the operator, of course, the capability to interpret the well in the data in terms of the well as opposed to the rig. So with that difference in mind, the core data does not change. And this is where it gets very, very interesting for both parties, because essentially you're reporting about the rig, but from the data, completely from the data you have, not with people's interpretation creeping in. Of course, you want observations and exceptions. That's what the reporting system is for. You're not expecting people to type, we drill from here to here with such and such a weight on bed, such and such an RPM. That is a waste of time. That's the machine right out of it from a single common data set, hence ACRE, Automated Common Reporting Environment. That's underway right now with a drilling contractor and an operator, a willing operator, because of course it means quite a significant change of practice, not a results, but a practice. And we have that project underway right now.
Well, I have to say this. I don't know if you heard it, but I giggled pretty hard when you said there's only one true midnight depth. So I think that's the true drilling nerd of me coming out. All right, everybody out there that's watching, guys, please be sure to be able to ask your questions. This is your chance to be able to get involved with the experts here on SPE Live or SPE Tech Talk. Whatever. We're live. It's your chance to be able to throw out your questions. I did see that we did have in the comments here. Let's see. Juan's watching from Cape Town. So Juan, thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of the show. We do appreciate it. All right. If you've got any questions, throw them out there. All right. Milan, this one's for you. Will you still provide services to the smaller operators and drilling contractors once integrated fully into SLB?
Yeah, absolutely, David. So I touched on it earlier, but just to expand, so the solution we've got is we're integrating it. We've started integrating, and we're going to continue integrating into our larger digital drilling solution. But we understand that there are customers out there who may not want to join that full journey of integration, but at the same time, the drilling contractors may not want to join that either. So we're still offering exactly the same reporting and automated reporting that we offer today, and we'll continue doing so. Further to that, we will continue to innovate and develop those reporting solutions, because even those small operators and the drilling contractors, everyone wants innovation and everyone wants a solution technology that will reduce their costs and improve their efficiencies. So we'll continue to do that and make sure that they get the solutions they're looking for, but provide them with access to an integrated platform if they choose to go down that path.
Excellent. All right. Are you guys going to address the drilling contractor market for reporting? Like, how big is this market? What is this market? Milan, John?
In terms of the drilling contractor market?
Yes, sir.
So every drilling contractor needs to report. There's reporting they need to do of crew performance, anything to do with the rig crew. There's a report required. So it's a big market. There's 4,000 odd rigs out there, plus or minus. So every drilling contractor does need to report. And I think, as I said, they're all looking for some efficiency gains and cost reductions. So there is an opportunity out there to automate reporting for them. And further to that, that data, we're all about digital and data gathering now. And that data that the drilling contractors gather, they can use that to further analyze performances, to further improve their own performance and differentiate themselves from other contractors. So there's certainly opportunity out there, and it's a big market, and we're looking to continue servicing it. John, did you want to add anything to that one?
Just to say that, re-emphasize the point that drilling contractors have a slightly different obligation. They must report every day from almost a legal point of view with the IEDC report, which is actually signed off between the drilling contractor and the operator, and the onus to prepare and deliver that report falls on the drilling contractor. So there is a very clear need with that. It's quite a complex report. It's quite detailed, and just become more so with DDR Plus. There's some additions to that, and every bit of automation we can bring to that, the better it will be for the guys on the rig.
I must say, having been a field hand, and part of my learning curve was having to transcribe the IEDC report every day. It was a great learning thing, but I was always like, golly, this is just nonsensical work. So thinking about that, how do we, as an industry, drive adoption of automated reporting and data-driven reporting?
So I can jump in on that one.
Yeah, sure.
Initially, and then John, if you want to add to it. So look, at our industry has been around for a long time, and we are generally quite slow to change, right? And I think digital is really starting to get a hold of us, and we're moving in that direction. So we do see that the adoption is getting faster now. I think it's obviously our job to illustrate the value of the automated reporting to accelerate that adoption. As John said earlier, everyone who gets a taste and sees what automated reporting can do, they all want it. It's then the ability to get that message up higher in the organizations and give it a try, and then I'm sure they won't be disappointed, and we can get that adoption going. But as we move with all our digital solutions, they're all evolving very quickly, and as they evolve, people will start to see greater value, and hopefully they'll jump on the train and join the journey.
And just to add to a couple of thoughts to what Milan just said, it's also a generational thing. As more and more younger engineers who grew up in a completely online world join the industry and work offshore, work on the rigs, and are involved in reporting, as stated, without transcribing from paper, isn't really what they kind of signed up for. So there's an expectation in let's call them the younger generation, as it were, of engineers, that it will be automated, and they're genuinely surprised that it's not. So the change will happen, I think, just as a matter of course over the next few years anyhow. Our job, and I'm going to say ours is IDS's job, and Schlumberger's as well, is to make that transition as painless as possible, to present the end result of an automated report and say, look, you didn't touch a thing, but here's a report. Once they get that, their heads around that, then we're all in the same direction at that moment. And that's our job, is to make it as painless as possible.
So we do have a question that has come in here from the audience. So Ihab says, code and subcode will be automated. What about write-up descripting the operations, or describing the operation?
That's a good question. Yeah, why not describe the operation from the code the opposite way around? To a degree, we're doing that. We have this. I should have touched on this earlier, I didn't. But we have a feature in the system called fixed text remarks, FTRs, as in IDS. And they are structured responses to given operations. For example, drilling ahead will present an FTR. You must, if you have selected the code drilling ahead, then you will also put in the depth from, the depth to, the weight of the RPM, the basic drilling parameters, and whatever else the operator wants to trap against that particular code. That's called a fixed text remark, and that's going the opposite way, where the code drives the text, and then we populate the remark with the right data. So we are going that way as well. It's a very interesting field to be in. It's almost a circle. One moment you're taking text and converting that to code, and now we go the opposite way. We get the code populated in, and then we build the text out from that. The idea is to get to the point where you stop people typing. Reporting without typing is what we're trying to get to. And the idea of, instead of the report coming from the rig and all that entails from the people at the rig, it becomes a report about the rig, from the machines and from the data we're able to gather from the rig. And we just leave the engineer with the responsibility to put in observations and exceptions. We lost circulation, we fixed it. That is absolutely vital. He shouldn't be typing, and we drill from here to here. That bit should be automated. The bit we don't know, that's in that engineer's head, that's what we want to capture. That's what we're looking for. It's the narrative of the rig from an engineering perspective. When that doesn't matter whether you're a drilling contractor or the operator. That's the vital bit of information.
I could not agree more. All right, what differentiates your reporting solutions from others?
Well, it works, basically. To be blunt, really. It's taken us 5 years to get this far, and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. We've had a lot of support from Schlumberger, particularly with the rig state side of things, without which we cannot make it work. And a lot of research done internally in IDS and with our partners. We partnered with an Indian company to help us with the AI side of things. It's really been the focus of the company. If you point a relatively small company like IDS, 50, 60 people, at a problem, but it's a very focused group of people looking at a very, very niche within a niche problem, which is basically what automated reporting is, you can make it work. But it comes because before we started doing automated reporting, we had 15, 18 years of reporting experience behind us. We didn't try to jump in and say, here's a report, let's invent automated reporting. We started with a long history of reporting. And as I remarked right at the beginning of the call, we've always led the curve when it came to technology. We're the first people out there on the web, 2001. I don't think anybody else has really got web-based reporting with a history like that. And that gave us the access to the data globally. So we had a very clear lead on that, and which we parlayed into this position we're in now, where we can automate a report. Never more so now we teamed up with Schlumberger, we're part of the DrillOps team, hooked up to DrillOps Orchestrate, and we can literally do hands-off reporting because we get the rest of the flat time coming in from the drilling side. So yeah, that was a long answer again to a short question. It works was the answer.
And David, if I can just add to that just briefly. So it works, and the beauty of it is the integration with the digital drill plan is really a unique differentiation out there today. If you think about it, to create a digital drilling program that then you orchestrate and synchronize your drilling activities that then get transmitted directly to a digital drilling report, it's pretty efficient, pretty powerful. So we're pretty excited about that and how that will evolve further.
So real quick, we're wrapping up here. What's the best way to be able to get in touch with you guys after the show?
For me, it would be through my IDS email address, which we can certainly circulate amongst the audience that's listening. And for Milan, I guess through your Schlumberger address, would that be correct?
Yeah, sure. So that you can connect with us directly, or you can connect with your local Schlumberger contact, sales engineer or business development manager or account manager, and they'll feed that lead back to John and myself or the greater team, and then someone will get back to you and we'll explore further.
Well, guys, thank you guys so much for being a part of today's SPE Tech Talk and educating us on automated reporting. As always, for everybody out there watching, please stay tuned to SPE here on LinkedIn for any more of the SPE Lives, SPE Tech Talks, which you can also check out after the fact on the SPE website or on YouTube and a couple of other social media locations. I don't know them all right offhand, but all you got to do is just Google it and you'll be able to find it. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching. We do appreciate it. Please stay tuned for some more in the future. And as always, know your industry.
Thank you.